Hey, Pray family. This is Dirk Smith, Vice President of EEM. I wanted to say a special thank you for watching EEM on Pray TV. If you haven't yet, I'd love for you to check out EEM's 5511 podcast and follow my profile for faith-stirring content to see how God is powerfully moving across this globe. Today, I want to offer you a devotional thought that I hope will help encourage your faith and challenge you and me to be more like Jesus. Hi. Thanks for coming to our Pray.com channel. I just wanted to share with everyone, in light of this election season and a lot of the crazy that we're seeing going on right now, I've been meditating on Jesus' words in Matthew 5, starting about verse 13, where he tells us that we are the salt of the earth. And what good is salt if it loses its flavor? It's not good for anything but to be thrown out. And then he talks about us being the light of the world. And a city set on a hill can't hide its light, etc., if you know the passage. And I've been thinking about this. If you really understand, if we understand that Jesus' words are always very intentional, he tells stories very intentionally. And think about the essence of salt and light. You know, salt, when we eat a meal, if the salt is not present, we reach quickly for the salt shaker and we say, boy, I need some more salt. This has no flavor. If there's too much salt, it's putrid. I mean, have you ever done that? Somebody accidentally puts twice or three times the amount of salt in something. I'll never forget one time making a lasagna dish where actually quadrupled the amount of salt. It tasted like a salt lick. It was good for nothing to throw out. And it was absolutely awful to the taste. Just over the top. Light. When we walk into a room, do we ever walk into a room and say, man, the light in here is just perfect. It's so nice. No, we rarely say that. But if the light is too dark, the first thing we're going to do is say, hey, turn on the light. I can't see where I'm going. Or if it's too bright, we'll say, turn that down. It's blinding. I can't see. I think Jesus' his message to us here is this. When salt does its job, the salt doesn't get the glory. The food does. When the salt is just right, it accentuates the food and it makes the food taste better and it brings the attention to the food. When the lighting in a room or in a location is right, it accentuates the room. The ambiance is nice. We talk about the ambiance of the room. Well, what's doing that? It's the lighting. Or in a video like this, if the lighting is wrong or right, we say, wow, the lighting, boy, that really looked good. It had a good feel to it. But we don't notice the light. And I've been meditating on that. I think that's Jesus' message to us, especially in a season like this. We don't need to be non-existent, because when we're non-existent, salt, people are going to reach for salt. In lighting, they're tripping and falling. They can't see where they're going. But we just have to do our job. We can't be over the top because we blind people or we're nauseating to people. Sometimes we feel like in an essence or in a location where we don't see God, we need to come on doubly strong. But I think what Jesus is telling all of us as his disciples, as his authentic disciples, is just be my disciples. Just love the person that God is putting in our path. Just be light. Don't be non-existent. Don't be over the top. But just be. Don't accept wrong, but don't call it out in such a way that we repel people from us. Love everyone. Take care of the person that God puts in our path and be the light and be the salt, but do it in such a way to where the food gets accentuated and the food gets the attention, or the ambiance of the room gets the attention, not us. We shouldn't be noticed other than to be very countercultural in this world in a very loving way So let's today be the light and be the salt that God has called us to be, and just be his authentic disciples. Have a great day, Pray.com audience. For 60 years, EEM has published, printed, and distributed Bibles and Bible-based materials into 30-plus nations and in 20-plus different languages. As a result of 7 couples, they were in their 20s, no children yet, young marrieds, and they make the decision to pursue souls for Jesus, to travel to a foreign land where they've never been, in a foreign language that they didn't know, only to find out that nobody behind the Iron Curtain, as it was called at the time, had Bibles in their language.
The power to change the world is right here.
So Gwen Hensley, who really started EEM, came back and said, we have to change what we're doing. We have to provide God's Word in people's languages. And people joined forces. There was amazing partnership. People paying to get the printing press up and going. And we stand on their shoulders. Who would have thought? What started as a smuggling operation where they were thrilled to get 100 Bibles across a border, we're now driving tractor truckloads. We're printing in those very countries that forbid the Bible from being distributed. We're actually putting their people to work, and they're printing the Bible. We're putting Bibles in public schools in the nation of Ukraine, not at our request, at their request. And they're teaching the Bible as curriculum. It's happening in Hungary. It's now happening in Croatia, Romania, Bulgaria. It's spreading like wildfire. In Matthew 28, Jesus' call to us is to make disciples. See, we believe providing someone God's Word is the first step in making disciples. Like our tagline says, the Bible, we want everyone to get it.